welcome to From Market to Table. I'm Sarah Graham.
And I'm Kathy Willis.
Today we are going to show you how to make some football party items. So fall is upon us, and that means football party time. So we have some great, easy, fun dishes for you to prepare for this football season, while at the same time being able to sit and enjoy the game with your family and friends. So Kathy's going to start us off.
All right. Well, I thought I would start with a sweet and spicy snack mix. This is something you can do the day before and have it ready for that day, or the kids can help in the morning with it. And this recipe is basically, it's pretty healthy. What we're using is chow mein noodles, and we need 4 cups of chow mein noodles. And this pack here is about 4.5 cups. But I used the whole thing because it's really not going to matter that much. And what you want to do is put this in a flat pan, your sheet pan. And then I have some pepitas, and what I want to do is get a 1/3 cup of the pepitas, and I know because I did it earlier. It's a 1/3 cup of pepitas.
And she's a baker, so she can go by eye and by hand measurement.
Yeah. And then we're going to add some cinnamon to that, ground cinnamon, and we'll add about a 1/2 teaspoon. And you can certainly add a little bit more if you like, or a little bit less. And then the next thing we're going to add to this is cayenne pepper. That gives it that little bit of spice. And again, as much as you like of this. It calls for 1/8 of a teaspoon. This is 1/4. So I'm going to do like a good half. And it actually does not make it real hot, but when you taste it, you're eating it, it seems nice and sweet, and then there's a little kick. You say, what was that? So, all right, so then, whoops. To this, what we're going to do is add 2 teaspoons of olive oil, and then we're going to bake this. So, it's like 1 teaspoon and another. And then you can just mix all this up, and believe it or not, it'll get pretty covered with the olive oil.
This is the part that kids will love.
Oh yeah.
Just don't let them necessarily lick their fingers with
yes.
cayenne pepper on there.
Or you can always let them do this and add the cayenne pepper before you put it in the oven.
True.
You know, I had somebody who tried it and said, I don't taste any spice at all. The next person said, oh my God, it's so spicy, I can't take this. So it depends on, you can see when there's spice on some and not on the others. So it's pretty well covered here. So now what we want to do is flatten it out to pretty much one level. And then we want to bake this in the 400-degree oven just till it's lightly toasted, and that's about 5 to 7 minutes. So we'll go ahead and we'll do that. And then when it comes out, you can put it in a bowl, and you want to let it cool, at least for 20 minutes till the noodles are completely cool. And then, now this is the fun part. The kids can pick out what kind of add-ins that they want to do in here. You can add the white chocolate chips, about 1/2 cup of them, the dried cranberries, 1/2 cup. I have pistachio nuts. I have mini M&Ms. And you can use, depending on who you're making this for, if the guys like it really spicy, you can add wasabi.
Oh, yeah.
Peas.
Yeah.
You can pretty much put whatever you want in this mix. I just tried to stick a little bit to a little healthier. And that's our mix.
That looks great. Super
You can
easy.
certainly put it out in bowls or
Yeah.
individual cups or whatever.
Yeah, and it is nice when you can personalize it with the things you do or don't
Right,
like, and
right,
let the
exactly.
kids have some choice in the matter. And
Yeah.
make a kid version and an adult version.
Sure.
and
Oh,
that's
absolutely. Yeah, without the cayenne pepper for the kids and
Yeah.
more M&Ms.
Fun. Yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So.
Okay. Thank you. All right. I'm going to make a homemade caramel dip. It's not actually a caramel. There's no refined sugar in this, but the consistency and the flavor is like caramel. So we'll call it that. I got this. A friend of mine came to visit, and she brought this, and the kids just ate it up like crazy. It was so good. And I said, I need the recipe for this. So this came from ohmyveggies.com, and it's actually what I'm making is a component of salted caramel granola bars. So she uses this caramel to make a granola bar, but we're just going to do the caramel part of it today, and you can check out the full recipe on ohmyveggies.com. So we're going to start with pure maple syrup, my new favorite brand, Wild Harvest.
Yeah.
And I doubled the recipe just because we are just making it as a dip and it goes fast. So I'm going to do a whole cup of maple syrup. Then 2/3 of a cup of unsweetened almond butter. So this, as you can see, I'm putting this all in my blender. You can also do this in a food processor. Now, if you can't find an unsweetened almond butter, you can always use less maple syrup in your recipe, and then you will have a little bit of refined sugar, but this is still way healthier than
Sure. Oh, yeah.
normal caramel dip would be. All right, so there's our almond butter. Then I have an organic virgin coconut oil. And we're going to do 6 tablespoons of that. This is 6, right?
Yep.
Okie dokie. And then 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. Whoop. So I tell my kids, don't pour over the bowl. Okay, so that is it. Maple syrup, almond butter, coconut oil, vanilla extract, and then the last ingredient, which probably adds the most health benefit to it, are these, oh, it's on the lid,
on the
huh?
lid, yeah.
Okay, thank you. These are medjool dates. And dates, I've used them before on the show. Dates can be used in a ton of recipes that need some type of sweetener where you're using a blender, where you can use a blender to completely almost liquefy them. Because dates don't taste like anything but sweet. They just taste sweet. They don't have a specific flavor to them. So these are really, really great to use if you need to sweeten a recipe but don't want to add refined sugar or have the flavor of honey or maple syrup, because honey and maple syrup have pretty specific flavors to them, and sometimes they don't lend themselves to the recipe that you're making. Dates just taste sweet. So the first time I used these for a recipe, and I needed like 2 whole containers of them, and I didn't read the package closely enough. It's not stated like right on the top, but the pits are not removed. And even in my best friend, the Vitamix was no match for the date pits.
Yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, remove your pits before you put them in your blender, or it will ruin the whole recipe. Because it did pulverize them a bit, but it was still like little crunchy, chunky date pits. So it broke them up, but it didn't pulverize them to the point where you could ingest them. So that was very disheartening. And the dates are also not inexpensive. So that was very, very upsetting. But all right, so I'm just going to mix this up. So it's all combined. You can hear it was working hard to get those dates broken down. So if you don't have a food processor or don't want to get it out of the package and then clean it all up and put it back in the package, then you can soak the dates for an hour or more, or even overnight in the fridge, and that'll break them down a little bit better so that they blend up easier. So that if you don't have a super high-powered blender or food processor. So as you can see, this is like a really awesome caramely texture. So I'm going to have a pretty little serving dish. Not going to waste a bit. Now my kids at this point, once they heard the blender, would run salivating and insist on licking it off the tamper.
Oh yeah.
We don't scrape off the tamper in our house because the kids lick it off. So you have this gooey, like caramely consistency. When my friend brought this, I was like, "What? What is that? What is this?"
Wow.
So yeah, it's great. So this is really, really good. How we have consumed it so far, which I imagine we're going to find many uses for this.
Sure.
Other than licking it off of our fingers. The kids ate it with apples. So what I did here, it can be difficult to serve apples because you slice them, and if they're sitting out for a while you're serving guests or have kids there, kids especially might be like, they're brown, and then they don't want to eat them. So what I did, I just squeezed the juice from one lemon into here and then topped it off with water, and I sliced these, I don't know what, at least 15 or 20 minutes ago.
Oh yeah,
and
probably
it's not enough lemon to make them taste like a lemon, but it's enough that they don't brown. So the kids will never know that the apples had a lemon juice bath, but they might think it's funny that the apples had a lemon juice bath. So, before serving time, before everybody comes, so you can slice them a little bit ahead of time and even put them in their lemon juice bath in the fridge.
Sure.
And then once it's serving time, you can take them out of their little bath, put them in your serving dish, and then they won't brown, at least not as quickly. So
sure. Wow, that looks great.
Yeah, and then you can also serve this with pretzels. So we had little mini pretzel sticks, or any other type of pretzels that you want to serve it with. But it is so good, and as you can see, super easy, and it will not go to waste. I can promise you that.
I bet.
So, all right,
it almost looks like you can make these are the caramel apples without eating them off the stick.
Yeah. Yes. Exactly. So, yeah, it's like a caramel apple dip.
Yeah.
Yep.
Nice.
And a healthier version.
Yeah.
Which everybody knows I love. Okay. All right, Kathy, what are you going to do for us?
All right. Well, I thought what we'd do is, since we're coming up towards the end of summer and getting into fall, sometimes you're not going camping quite as much, and the kids really love Smores Bars. We're making some S'mores cookie bars. Now, this recipe calls for 2 cups all-purpose flour, 2 cups of graham cracker crumbs. And this, if you get a box of graham crackers, would be 2 full sleeves. Grinds up in your food processor to give you the 2 cups. Then you want 1 teaspoon of baking powder and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. So you get those dry ingredients together, and then what you're going to do is get 2 sticks of butter, and at room temperature, and you're going to whip that up. And to that you're going to add 1.5 cups of brown sugar. You're going to mix that till it's nice and fluffy, and then add 2 large eggs. Now, 1 egg at a time, and mix it all in, and then the second egg. I did use my KitchenAid mixer for this. It goes really quick. You can use a hand mixer, whatever. So once you have your sugar and your eggs and everything mixed, you gradually add that flour mixture with the graham crackers and the baking powder. And once you mix that, this is what you end up getting. It's sort of crumbly, but that's the graham cracker crust or bottom. All right, so to that, what I want to do now is you can use a 9x13 pan, and you can have your oven preheated to 350 degrees. I'm just going to spray it. You could also cover it in foil, if you like. I don't really find that that's necessary. So now what I want to do is, sort of divide this dough in half. What we're going to do is put half in the pan here, and the other half's going to be for the topping. Now I find that it's actually a little bit more for the base, and a little tiny bit less than half for the topping. And then it's just a matter of getting it all pressed in and getting it even. So this is something I bet your kids would love to do.
Oh, absolutely.
You can use, you can probably use anything. I don't have my cup with me, but to get it to flatten it out, you can use the bottom of a measuring cup. This is just the top, once you get it started. Mm-hmm. And you want to have it so it's got, a decent amount of crust on the bottom, but not so deep. There we go, we're getting it. A little bit more for the corner. All right. So if you look, there's pretty much close to that half left. And again, this will be the topping once we get everything done with the S'mores bars. And these they cut up really nice and easy, and will travel nice, and I don't have to worry about them. All right.
Yeah, and the kids will be, help the kids reminisce about summer and campfires and making s'mores over the fire.
Yeah. Yep. All right. So now we have our graham cracker base. Now you want to put a marshmallow base. And if you use a marshmallow cream, marshmallow fluff, spread on there, will give you that. You need about 2 cups, and basically this container actually is pretty much what you'll need for the whole thing. But this is also the fun part. Trying to get everything down and spread. But the one good thing is the base is pretty tough, and so it doesn't come up.
Yeah, it won't pull.
Right. Mm-hmm. A lot of cookie bases, see, like there.
Yeah.
If it wasn't padded in tight enough, it comes up a little bit. And I just said it wouldn't do that. Didn't do it this morning.
It's less likely to do it.
It is. Yeah. It didn't happen to me this morning.
Yeah.
All right, let's get all this down here. But you can see how gooey and sticky. I haven't used marshmallow cream in a long time. But I'm sure the kids would actually just love this. And not only the kids. So I figured this part takes us long enough that I didn't want to take up all the time with mixing the dough and everything.
No, yeah.
So you just want to get everything covered. And see, there's really not a whole lot left.
You definitely don't want to bite without marshmallow in it.
No, no. What kind of s'more would that be?
Exactly.
All right. That should be the last of it. Oh, my. All right. So I'll just get this spread out a little bit more. And so now this is our marshmallow layer. Get to the edges here. Because somebody will say, oh, the middle's got more marshmallow than the edges. Yeah. All right. I think that's enough. All right, so now, what else do we need on our s'mores? We need chocolate.
Yes, we're missing the chocolate.
We're missing the chocolate. So we're going to take 2 cups of, you can use the regular milk chocolate chips. You can use dark chocolate. I mean, I'm like the dark chocolate ones. So I have 2 cups here, and I want to spread them on top of the marshmallow fluff.
What if you use dark? Then you can say, well, it's
healthy
antioxidants. Yes, like yeah. These are sort of healthy s'more bars, if you count the dark chocolate.
I'll cut them in little pieces. That's why when I made the snack mix, it's like, that was a little more healthy than a lot of snack mixes I've made. All right. So you obviously see you're going to get chocolate and marshmallow in every bite. So now what we want to do is take the rest of our topping and we're just going to crumble it over the top. So there's a lot in this recipe that certainly the kids could help with.
Oh yeah, this is a great one.
This is, yeah.
It would be so fun on like a freezing cold, rainy, fall or winter day to say, guess what we're going to do today? Yeah. So we're going to make s'mores. And I'll be like, Mom, you're crazy, which I hear a couple times a day from my children. But then to, bring out this recipe and make it with the kids.
Sure. I have some nieces that, and they come to my house. All they want to do is, can we bake, Aunt Kathy? Can we bake?
Yeah, Aunt Kathy, what are we going to bake today? Yeah.
So we find all kinds of
What a wonderful tradition to pass on.
Yeah. So, and you don't want to cover it so you can't see some of the chocolate chips.
Yeah,
you see I'm taking off a little bit, but I'm too busy talking and not watching what I'm doing. And that's going to go now into your 350-degree oven for 30 to 35 minutes. And this morning it took 30 minutes. And when I did that, it comes out filling the whole pan, and you can actually see, how when you do marshmallows, it's a little bit toasted.
The marshmallow just kind of creeps its way up to the top.
Right, it does.
So you can see what it is. You can tell that it looks like a s'more.
I mean, and it smells like s'mores because you can smell the graham crackers, the marshmallow, the chocolate chips, or whatever. So
those look fabulous.
Thanks. So we're gonna have treats later.
Yes, and I don't think you'll have any leftovers of those from a party either.
I
or
don't think
just
so.
at home.
I don't think so. Right.
Okay, great.
So what else we doing?
All right, next one. Can't forget the nachos. Everybody loves nachos, right? It can be a little bit difficult though to make nachos for a group, but I found this recipe that was really simple and easy. So what you're going to do is take an entire bag of tortilla chips, so like a 9 to 12 ounce bag of tortilla chips, and just lay them out flat on a pan with foil or baking parchment paper. Thank you. Okay, lay them out, and then you need about 1.5 cups of shredded rotisserie chicken. Now the rotisserie chicken is the easiest way to do it. Shred's easiest when it's warm. So if you bring it home and throw it in the fridge, heat it back up again before you shred it. It's much more difficult to shred the chicken when it's cold. So heat it back up, shred the chicken, and then we're just going to put a nice big old layer of rotisserie chicken, or you can definitely boil or bake your own chicken breasts or whatever that you prefer, and shred that. Or you could even, if you want to take a super easy way out, buy canned chicken and shred that, because a lot of people have that on hand around football party time.
Sure.
For like a buffalo chicken dip or something like that. Okay, so just spread that over your nachos, your tortilla chips. And then you need about 2 cups of shredded cheddar cheese. We'll spread that over. And then this goes into a 450-degree oven just to melt the cheese. So it's just a couple of minutes, about 3 to 5 minutes to melt your cheese. So as you can see on the other half of my big old baking sheet here, I already did that. So I did the chicken and the cheese, and we're just going to top it with barbecue sauce. And I just am using a sweet brown sugar barbecue sauce. The main thing that I look for when I'm shopping for a barbecue sauce, my kids like it a little bit sweeter. They don't really like it spicy, and we're always eating as a family. So I don't get one that's very spicy. I try to get one that's sweeter, and I try to get one that's not sweetened with high fructose corn syrup, but that doesn't have MSG or anything like that in it as an additive and to use to flavor it. So we're just going to spread some barbecue sauce on here. And then I have some green onions and top it with that. Now these, obviously, you can make very, very versatile as well. And put olives, serve it with salsa and sour cream and guacamole on the side.
Jalapeno peppers on it.
Yes, jalapenos, everything. But this is like your super simple cut and dry chicken nachos, barbecue chicken nachos version. Really, really easy. Bring home the roasted chicken and the cheese and everything else, and literally the only work that you have to do is shred the chicken and chop up the green onions.
Sure.
So this was from realsimple.com, and it is definitely a really simple recipe. So there is that. So let's get out. Should we get out and show off our 4 football recipes? Today? Yeah. All right, so we have our barbecue chicken nachos, our caramel dip with no refined sugar, our sweet and spicy snack mix, and our s'more cookie bars. So I think anybody would be happy to walk into a party and see all of these things as options for them to snack on while we're enjoying the football season. So go Steelers, and until next time, we'll see you at the market.